Well, the Human Rights Commission says it's going to release its final report into riots that erupted in both KZN and Gauteng. This was back in July of 2021. People going on the rampage, looting businesses and destroying and burning infrastructure. The riots, it's understood, were sparked by the arrest of former President Jacob Zuma for contempt of court after he refused to appear at the Zondo Commission interstate capture. Well, let's now bring into the conversation. It's a pleasure to welcome Human Rights Commissioner Andre Gaum to eNCA this morning. Commissioner, I appreciate you making time for me this morning. Just want to confirm dates because this has been part of the reason we're talking. There's been some members of the Justice Committee raising concerns about the slow progress, as they put it. Obviously, you can respond to that. But I'm seeing the date will be released July 24 this year. Is that confirmed or has that changed again? Good morning.
Good morning, Gareth, and good morning to the viewers. Yes, no, that is the date. We have, at present, according to our timeline, to complete the report, the 24th of July this year, which would be on basically in the month of the second anniversary of the unfortunate July unrests that we saw in 2021. You see, one should understand that it is quite a process for the Commission to complete a report like this. Obviously, all of us want to complete reports much sooner. But if you compare this to, for example, the Zondo Commission, in that case, one can argue that the task was much broader than this specific one. But they also took quite some time, and their budget was even more, if I'm correct, than our annual budget. So, yes, we have a dedicated writing team working closely with the panel of commissioners who heard the matter during the hearing into the July unrests. And we are aiming very strongly to release the report on the 24th. Of July.
I see reports as well, Commissioner, that it's a lack of staff writers, staff reporters that are working on this as well. Is there not a way of getting more people involved? Obviously, we're quite close to July now, but to staff up for the next report that the HRC has to deal with, has it been a staff shortage issue? Is that correct?
Well, we've argued very strongly in the recent past as well that in terms of our budget, that should be increased to put us in a better position to come up with reports much quicker. But we're also looking at other possibilities in terms of doing that. We are looking at allocating some of these functions to our provinces and even have sitting hearings on certain focus areas such as education, health, and so on in provinces, so that matters can be referred there quicker and can be dealt with quicker. But it is a matter of resources as well, and unfortunately we simply don't have the resources in the Human Rights Commission to effectively and efficiently exercise our mandate. But I suppose that is a problem countrywide in terms of the availability of resources, not only of the Human Rights Commission, but it is something we continue to push for. But in this particular instance, we will most definitely aim for the 24th of July. And we had some challenges, but we are in a position, I think, to complete the report and release the final report by then. In the case of the Human Rights Commission, we also have provisional reports that we send to the stakeholders and respondents in the matter, where they then get the opportunity to respond to that. So in that sense, it differs a bit from courts and so on that wouldn't do that kind of thing by sending a provisional report and inviting comments.
I just want to ask you this in closing, Commissioner. What is the process of the releasing of the report? Who does this get released to? Is it just appear one day on the 24th of July this year on the HRC website? Does it go to, for example, the President? Does it go to an oversight committee? Just take me briefly through, on the 24th of July, what are South Africans as citizens, not the government, what are citizens expected to be seeing and from where?
The Commission will call a press conference, a media conference on the 24th of July. But we also plan to specifically hand over the report to the President, given that the President was one of the witnesses that appeared before the Commission. It is not, in that sense, a presidential inquiry that is taking place here, because we are an independent constitutional body. But the Commission does plan to hand over the report to the President himself as well.
I appreciate your time in joining us this morning. Andre Gaum, Human Rights Commissioner, 24 July, South Africa. That's the date we've been given. Yes, there was some criticism about it taking too long, but the Commissioner, as was explained to the committee, there's functional reasons for that. They want to make sure the report is right before being released to South Africa on the 24th of July. My thanks to the Human Rights Commissioner, Andre Gaum, this morning.